A massive thank you to Lucky, Sandwich, Susan, Martin and Matty for subscribing to the channel. If you want to be featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below. Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with round 5 of season 3 of the F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. Yes, of course, if you missed out the video that went live from the weekend at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, I would definitely recommend going back and checking out. But of course though, we head to Canada this weekend, of course, round 5 of the year, and hopefully, before we dive into this one, we can finally get some more chassis developments in the fabrication there. So, fingers crossed now, we should be able to do some more chassis upgrades over the next couple of weeks there. We've only got like 5 more upgrades that we can do on the chassis department at the moment there. Of course, we've already started doing some aero work as well. Of course, we have got the one ultimate upgrade waiting at the moment there, and we've got the availability to do a couple more as well here. To be honest, I'm tempted just to set one more of those up. We desperately need to get the powertrain sorted as well, though. You can see currently performance-wise, it's mainly our durability that's a little bit weak, but I'm not too worried about that at this stage of the year. Now, our aero strong, our engine and chassis are pretty even, and of course we've got the durability as well there. But we're going to keep hold of our R&D points for now and then do a big push in the second half of the year. Championship-wise, though, it is, of course, after McLaren's great resurgence of form last weekend. They're top 2 in the Drivers' Championship, leading the Constructors as well there, clear of Mercedes there. You got Tsunoda, Leclerc and Hamilton inside your top 5 there. We sit currently just sat in P6 as well, with Russell and Button in 9th and 12th place respectively as well. They're in 4th now in the Constructors, tied with Red Bull. I'm hoping later on in the year, if we can build up some consistency, we can really try and challenge Ferrari as well there. But yeah, let's dive in then to the Canadian Grand Prix. Right, well, heading back out then into free practice for the Canadian Grand Prix, then fingers crossed this weekend we can have a good run of form. I'll be honest, didn't really enjoy this track during Season 1 of this series, so since then we came back to it during Season 2, and I've kind of fallen in love with Montreal once more on the F1 games here. It's just about trying to be careful through that wall of champion chicane there. The outside curb on the exit will really hurt you, but I think that's a good thing, to be honest. I think everyone's always sort of taking the mick with the final chicane round here as well. But yeah, looking forward to this weekend. The eagle-eyed viewers of you as well might notice I've finally been able to change the dot colour ready for this weekend there, so we are now black ready for this season as well.
Good work. You seem to have a solid handle on the lap. Let's try and perfect each turn.
Just missed out on purple. Going to be mighty close at the end of our ERS management test, but we are just about going to get the purple.
And a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can talk you through the numbers.
Love that. Let's get into qualifying. Always a bit worried about the threat of rain here at Montreal, but fingers crossed we're going to be able to do the same strat as we did at Azerbaijan last weekend. They're, of course, going out in Q1 on the mediums. And yeah, fingers crossed then we can try and find a bit of pace and make it through into Q3 once again. We really should be making consistent Q3s in this series, unless we got like a really bad track that just completely goes against the car. But yeah, really it should be a pretty consistent showing over the course of this season. Really do feel like this could be the year, you know, we really do start. We should be able to fight for wins at some point down the line there, but yeah, little steps still. Don't want to be trying to overstretch ourselves early on this year. Hamilton sets a 1:05.6 at the end of his first Q1 run there. I'll be honest, this lap has been pretty poor by me. Oh, that's not a curb. Oh, that was very close to the wall at the final corner. There goes Hamilton's lap already. It's a 1:07.7. But yeah, we're going to have to go out again. To be fair, we weren't as far off on that run as I thought we would be at the end of the session there. But still, we've definitely got to go out for another run. Currently sat down in P19. We can find about a second, that would be alright. But definitely feel like there might be even more available in the car this weekend. Always go well around Canada. Well, generally go well. I'm sure I've just jinxed myself by saying that. But yeah, love this track. Well, our first lap apparently was a bit better than I thought it would be. 8/10 up at the end there. We do go quicker than our teammate JB there, but still only up in P14. I'll level what the gap is to the guys behind, but we might have to go for a third run. So we are clearly struggling then for pace between myself and JB this weekend then. Still sat, yeah, down in P14 and P16 here. I don't want to leave it sort of as a risk that we go out in Q1 again. We can't afford to get back into that sort of mentality at this stage of the year there. But as we head out for our second run on the softs, Fingers crossed we can find a bit more time there. Definitely a little bit more pace on the lap. There was a bit of a mistake through the chicane before the hairpin right at the end. But yeah, fingers crossed. As we head down in towards the final chicane, they're currently 2/10 up on our previous run. But we're right on the drop zone at the moment, down in P16, so we need to try and nail the final chicane. Really stamp on the brakes as late as possible, then nudge the wall of champions on the exit of the final corner. We've pretty much held on, we're down to 17th, and it's not good enough. It simply wasn't good enough there. We just don't have the pace with the Alpine power unit in the back of the car this weekend. And out of nowhere, we're out in Q1. Well, somehow, Jenson Button found a huge amount of time on his second run there to go down into 106.1 there, but we miss out by 1/10 of a second to Pierre Gasly at the end of qualifying there, and that was not what we needed. Williams seemed to have brought some upgrades this weekend, which has helped him out as well, getting both Bottas and Latifi through into Q2, but I genuinely didn't expect us to be at Q1 this weekend there. AlphaTauri not looking particularly strong either, but yeah, lost for words there. I had even tweaked the AI. I know I mentioned it in the last video. We're having to tweak the AI now just because they're really, really strong around some of the tracks, but I didn't think they'd be that good here. But we're out. Well, all we can do now is get into the race itself.
Hello and welcome to the Ile Notre Dame once again for what promises to be another incredible Canadian Grand Prix at a fiercely competitive circuit, where pole position can often be decided by less than 1/10 of a second. With top speeds of around 210 miles per hour heading into the overtaking opportunity of turn 13, the 2.7 miles of the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve are some of the quickest on the Formula One calendar. There are 14 corners in total, with 60% of the lap taken at full throttle, and average lap speeds clock in at about 130 miles per hour. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
From the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, with Daniel Ricciardo slotting in alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Leclerc, Yuki Tsunoda, and Sainz, Verstappen, Perez, Russell, and Valtteri Bottas, Stroll, Gasly, Jenson Button, and Latifi, Mr. Monaco, Joe, Robert Schwartzman, and Esteban Ocon, Mick Schumacher, Mazepin, Giovinazzi, and Christian Lundgaard. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Right, well, here we are then, ready on the grid for the Canadian Grand Prix, round 5 of the year here. And of course, Canada well known for not being suitable at all for the hard compounded tyres. Looking like, yeah, it is going to be a cloudy but dry race here today. Now, my strategy here is 10 laps on the softs, 15 on the mediums, 10 more laps on the softs at the end of the Grand Prix. So you're really fast at the start, really fast at the end, and you kind of hang on in there during the middle of the race. It saw us move up a lot of places in last season's Grand Prix. Obviously managed to take down Carlos Sainz late on in that Grand Prix. There unfortunately didn't quite matter come the end of the season between myself and the Spaniard. But yeah, clearly that Q1 time from JB as well, a bit of a flash in the pan as well, because for Q2 he was back down to where we'd expected him there. So really just struggling this weekend. This track does simply not suit the car at this stage of the year. But fingers crossed we can get our head down, get a good race, maybe score some points as well. That's what we need to be aiming for at this stage of the year. Then waiting on the grid for the Canadian Grand Prix. It's 5 red lights and it's lights out and away we go. Latifi on a set of hard tyres there, doesn't get away well. So once, it doesn't happen often, but we've made up places. No, we have not. As Schumacher there tries to dive up the inside, we try and give him room there. Latifi gives us a bit of a squeeze as well. I think we got away without any front wing damage from that one there, from the homeboy. As we head into Sector 2 there, just no grip at all. What's going on in these soft tyres there? Really do need to try and get up temperature as we go for a bit of rallycross out of Sector 1. Don't want to then go for a dive on Latifi. Did we get away with that front wing damage? It looks like we have. So Schwartzman, yeah, bravery has paid off for him this time around. We saw Mick Schumacher do that in the Williams Road to Glory video we did yesterday. If you missed that one out, go back and check it out. But yeah, we cannot afford to be sat behind a Williams on a hard compound tyres for very long in this Grand Prix. Constantina and up. Oh, Guan Yu Zhou thought about it on us. But we go for the double send. Yellow flag's out. Not too sure what that's all about. I guess it's just a blockage at the rear of the field there. Schwartzman, though, our former teammate, still fighting this. But yeah, definitely has moved to a slower team in Formula 1. End of lap 1, though, it is one of the McLarens that still leads the way there. Mercedes down in 4th and 5th. Early on, not good for them. And yeah, Ricciardo, where he took his first win for McLaren in this series, currently leads the way. We're really struggling to make any inroads early on in this Grand Prix, but hanging on to the DRS of our teammate there and pushing away from the back marker cars. There, Gasly is always getting absolutely everything out of that AlphaTauri week in, week out there. That is not the line through the final chicane, so we'll drop back a little bit there. But yeah, really just struggling early on. Just can't seem to find a good balance with the car there, and I feel like I'm getting everything out of it. Come on, Jensen, you've got to be getting a run on Pierre Gasly now as we come towards the end of lap 4. There goes Button, there goes Gasly, though. They're going to give each other a big old squeeze, but Gasly does hold on, and can we try and capitalise as well? That big wobble of oversteer on the exit. Button now might be able to have a look back down the inside in towards turn 1, and we're going to try and do the same. Oh, big old send on Gasly will hang him out to dry, and I think this is going to be the key today. We've got to work together with our teammate Jensen Button here. Yeah, I'm sure Gasly probably a bit upset by that one, but we're here to make places, not friends. I think this is the first time all year JB and I have been pretty even on pace, I'll be honest. Seemed that we're not really able to apply too much pressure to him. However, we are making good inroads on the Williams, so I don't really want to try and do too much early on. But yeah, just definitely feel like, for once, we're actually pretty similar. Normally it's been one of us or the other this year. But it'd be nice if... It's a shame we're both consistently pretty slow so far, rather than both really quick. Well, we got yellow flags out. I think one of the Alfa Romeos is going slowly. Have they tangled together? We're riding on board then with the Alfa Romeos. Let's see what's happened. I think... Oh, yeah, I think Giovinazzi, his engine's gone up there, and Lundgaard seemingly wanted to push him to the flag. Not too sure what that was all about, but yeah, Giovinazzi out of the Canadian Grand Prix. Oh, we got our first pitters in. Hadn't even spotted that at the end of lap 8. That's all the front runners into the box.
The pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
So we are now up into the points then of this Grand Prix, which is nice to see, but we got a couple more laps before we pit. The team actually asked me to stay out one lap longer here, so I'm wondering if JB wants to pit end of lap 10. But yeah, we'll work together. Alright, come on then, Jensen. Are we going to be able to get a run on our team out? I don't really want to do it in case he wants to box in. We got all over his gearbox, but no, JB doesn't pit. Car behind me does, though. That, of course, was Pierre Gasly in this race. So now we're up into second and third. George Russell leading the way. We got 4 Brits inside the top 5 here at the moment, for a brief moment there, before Lando Norris gets relegated back down the order. But does JB now want to pit this lap? And are we going to lead this race? I don't even think we're going to get a chance to lead this Grand Prix. Ricciardo out of nowhere. Big old run. Oh, I don't want to stay alongside him. Sorry, Daddy Rick. That was a bit scary. Yeah, Ricciardo there, so much more speed.
Mistake, you could still regain the position.
I mean, if last season's McLaren's anything to go by, it's a question of when rather than if Daniel Ricciardo will make a mistake here. But he's flown past me. He's about to fly past our teammate Jensen Button, who does box in, yes. So helps us out a little bit by slowing Ricciardo up. We should be able to get one more lap of DRS.
Jensen in the pits.
But yeah, we gave JB the first stop, of course, because he was in front of us.
Lap, so push now.
There's Hamilton now fighting back. Ricciardo's got a healthy little sort of 2-second lead in this Grand Prix, which I think a lot of people underappreciate how difficult it is to get here at the Canadian Grand Prix circuit with all the DRS zones. But Ferrari and Charles Leclerc seem to be on the money a lot more this season so far, which is reassuring to see. We just about get the car slowed down into the pit lane. They're very, very brave on the way in there. As Sonoda the last couple of weekends really starting to struggle once more in that Mercedes. It seemed like, yeah, at the start of the year it was really quick, but struggling since then. And Red Bull as well looking good, which isn't ideal for us in our battle with them. We are going to re-emerge though in this Grand Prix. It's actually going to be close between myself and JB. We might just have got an overcut on him. No, I think we have. Yeah, look at that. We've got a massive overcut on him. We've overcut ourselves towards the points. Look at that. Bottas in 11th. Schumacher there as well. So all these guys have been held up by the back markers, which is weird to say. Bottas in a Williams is not a back marker at this stage of the year. He's pretty much been on for points or thereabouts every weekend so far this year. But yeah, we're up into 12th place here. And we've got past our teammate. Schwartzman's still at the road, needs to pit. So if we get past Bottas soon, we could be up to the points. This might be the one big opportunity we get to try and get a run on Valtteri Bottas here as we try and get on the power as early as possible. Out onto the back straightaway here. We're going to activate the DRS as well. Completely drain the battery. Everything we can. Is Bottas going to go defensive on us? Oh, he does at the last moment. Oh, you cannot do that, Valtteri Bottas. As we nudge the wall out of the final corner as well, though. I think we got away with that. But Bottas, that was not on. Not going to give Bottas a second chance this time around. If we get a run on him, we're going for it. As we head out of the hairpin there. We seem to be a lot closer this time around as we head out onto the back straightaway. And what is the Finn going to be able to do here? This time around, again, he goes defensive on us. To the outside on the grass this time around. But we just about get it slowed down. And right around the outside of the Finn there. He's going to come back at us. JB's going to get a run on him as well, so we'll box Bottas in, allow Jensen to run to the outside there, but we are now up into the points of the Canadian Grand Prix there. JB behind us. Oh, sorry, we're up into 11th here. Once Schwartzman pits, will be in the points. But we've allowed Jensen as well through. So teamwork, yeah, today has been on point from 2-2 Motorsport. Jensen now, we spoke about the teamwork. He's just sitting it on me now. In this Grand Prix a bit out of nowhere. I'm trying to line up a move on Schwartzman, but yeah, Jensen Button clearly wants to go for it as well in this Canadian Grand Prix. That wants to win again like he did in 2011. Way past Schwartzman, though. He's not really going to be much of a battle to have in this Grand Prix. I do feel a bit bad for our former teammate who just jumps into the pit lane as well. Yeah, maybe this teamwork that I thought was happening with JB.
In the top 10 now. Keep it up.
Yeah, maybe this teamwork is only a bit one-sided. Perhaps JB still wants to fight. Oh, we got yellow flags out. Daniel Ricciardo. I said earlier on about how you make a mistake there. I think Ricciardo's bottled it. Let's see then with Daniel Ricciardo in this Grand Prix. He loops it round by himself in the lead of the race there. And has he picked up some front wing damage as well in that situation? I can't quite tell whether he has or not. I think he's got away with it. Yeah, but Daniel Ricciardo, from the lead of the Grand Prix and the lead of the championship, has thrown it all away. I can't believe I literally referenced their Season 2 car earlier on, saying that was a handful, and Ricciardo's gone and done that just a handful of laps later here in Montreal. But yeah, we're still under a lot of pressure from our teammate. Will Ricciardo have to box in, though, at the end of this lap? Could we get both cars up now into the points? Yeah, Ricciardo's in! So Daniel Ricciardo has completely taken himself out of the from the Canadian Grand Prix there. I'm sure he'll be able to recover and fight back into the points by the end. But what a disappointment for the Australian, who was really looking like a big championship threat. I mean, he still is, but it's not what you want to be doing early on in the year still. Jensen still seems so quick at this stage of the Grand Prix. I might just let him by if he gets a run on us here, because I just don't think it's worth trying to hold him up for too much longer in this Grand Prix. He's gaining as we head down the back straightaway. Surely not here, though, mate. You're not close enough to go for anything. Just luckily, Jensen, a wise old head in that car as well there, but is he now going to be able to get a run to the inside as long as we don't lose any more spots? We stick in the DRS.
For a new strategy option.
Team recommending a new strat. They want us to go 26 onto softs again, which is good. We'll probably come in 25 unless JB wants to do an extra lap. Yeah, now we just need to stick in the DRS range of our teammate. It's the problem, I think, at the moment. The DRS is just so powerful here at Montreal that now we're sat behind JB again. We just seem to feel like we're stuck behind him. It's just a case of who's in front of who at this stage of the Grand Prix. But
safety car is out.
Why's that happened?
We need you to reduce your pace. It looks like there's a high amount of debris on the track.
Where? Oh, who's walloped the wall? Oh, so we don't really get the full view of it though, but Sergio Perez must have looped it round on the exit of the chicane there and has rammed the barrier on the exit there, leaving all the front wing debris on these, through this chicane there. As you can see, the first proper chicane of the lap there. And yeah, you can't have a Red Bull front wing on the racing line there, but a safety car means we can pit for free basically now, go on to mediums to the end, or even softs. We are going to take a big gamble in this race and actually go onto a set of soft tyres to to try and see us through to the end here. Are we going to see our teammate in? Everyone else is boxing in at the front of the field. Hopefully JB's in as well. Yes, so luckily everyone here is going to be double stacking in this Grand Prix, so fingers crossed we won't lose out too much time. We've got Bottas still right behind us, and then one of the Aston Martins as well. I think this is the problem, of course, where we've been so close together all race. I'm probably going to lose out a few positions here, hence why we might need that extra grip from the softs. We're going to block one of the Williams. That's, of course, Bottas in the pit lane there, so I'm sure he's not going to be happy with that either. But hopefully we get the new tyres on. 4.2 isn't too bad. That's an illegal rejoin. That should probably be a penalty, but we won't get one. But we do come back out behind Gasly. Can we stay ahead of Schwartzman, though, in this Grand Prix? Yes, we can. So P15. We've lost a fair bit there, but we are going to be mighty fast for a few laps towards the end. Now I need to save this rubber as best as possible. Right, well, safety car coming in then at the end of lap 22. One lap earlier than I'd hoped it would, I'll be honest with you guys. But fingers crossed we can have a nice clean restart nonetheless. Now I think it's a case of really trying to nurse these tyres to the checkered flag here. But getting ready to go green then from Montreal once more. We are going to have a mighty fast car for a few laps here, so we need to try and get ourselves up inside the top 10. Otherwise, late on, we're not really going to be able to do a lot there. Make sure we manage to throttle out of the final corner. We've got Schwartzman behind us, who shouldn't serve as much of a threat. We've got Latifi just a couple of places up the road as well. But let's instantly try and put this new rubber to good use there. Around the outside of Pierre Gasly. We'll try and get the power down on the exit. Nothing happening this time around, though. As we head up in towards turn 3. Oh, didn't want to be there. Sorry, Gasly.
Losing 2 seconds a lap to you. Good job.
Don't think that's quite right, Jeff. Right, so let's see if we get all the Constantina and up back down at the hairpin this time round. Up the inside of Gasly. It's a big old send. But I think we did take him by surprise there as he slotted in behind Latifi. Can we now get a run on the Williams?
Nice overtake.
Team seemingly happy with that one as well then. Mercedes versus Renault Power. But we have got a much better chassis and aero. Oh, I thought Latifi would go defensive. Apologies there to the Canadian. As Latifi decides he's had enough of that. Don't want to mess with me. We'll have the place. Thanks, mate. Up to 13th then at the end of the restart lap. 12 to go. Oh, Bottas very, very slow into the hairpin there. Felt like we weren't left with many places to go. Big kick or wheel spin on the exit as well. There's a team still recommending we box again. Hopefully not going to be doing so in this Grand Prix. But Bottas going way more defensive than his teammate did on us. So we head down the back straight away. And for the second time in this Grand Prix, we'll sweep around the Williams. They're really out to try and cut it in front of him. Make it very clear we were having that place. And now up into 12.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
Oh, this time round, we're all over the back of the other Canadian now in this Grand Prix. We still seem to be able to get a really good run down in towards the hairpin here. And now with the DRS to the outside of Sir Lancelot. And we are going to relegate him one further step away from the points in this Grand Prix. Now up into 11th. JB, the man between us and the points here. So I'm trying to work out who is inside the top 10 that previously wasn't here. Who have we all lost a place to that might still need to box before the end? Oh, again, see, look at that. We seem to be able to get so late on the brakes there and just about pull alongside another car when they start to turn in there. So it's really helping us out as we head out of the hairpin here. And look at this, now we've got a big run on our teammate Jenson Button. 220 miles an hour as we have a look to the outside. Or Button. Not too sure that's fair from our teammate there, as we're going to be under pressure from Sir Lancelot again as we head back down towards 1.
Now, we're boxing this lap.
Oh, the Aston Martin does hang it up inside there, but JB, I mean, he kind of just sliced the chicane there to hold on. That was a bit of a league racer move by him. We are still pushing this rubber so hard in this Grand Prix, but can we try and get a run on JB now? Down in towards the hairpin. We're a lot closer than we have been at any other point during this Grand Prix. Is it send it time? Oh, lock the rears there, but we do get it stopped. A lot of curb as well. But can we try and get a run on the exit there? JB does get on the power a lot earlier than us, but fingers crossed with the slipstream. We can try and have a look at another move past him there. To the inside this time round on our teammate Jenson Button here. We're wheel to wheel as we head down in towards the final chicane, and this time round we do hold on. No corner cuts either there, but Jenson's going to come straight back at us on the exit of the corner. This is a great little battle we've had with our teammate throughout most of the Grand Prix, and with 7 to go. Still no clear favourite within the team at the moment. Us two battling hard for everything we've got. Tell you what, 5 laps to go here, and we are really already feeling like we're hanging on to the car at this stage of the Grand Prix. Still quick though, but a lot of oversteer and everything like that. at this stage of the day. Then we need to stay within the DRS of Sergio Perez if we want to be able to defend from our teammate Jenson Button in the dying laps here. But Ricciardo as well on those hard tyres just in front is allowing us all to stay a little bit closer. JB dropping back slightly. It's definitely not enough. Can we now think about a move though on Sergio Perez in this Grand Prix? I don't think this time around. It's again just so much oversteer out of turn 1. We've got to try and keep it calm. Oh, yellow flags. What's happened? Oh, we got another safety car. Verstappen's out. Whoa!
Lots of loose debris on the track.
So riding on board then with Max Verstappen, he's got loose, done what Perez did earlier on. And I think, yeah, look at that. Sainz has nicked him. And George Russell has just gone straight in there. Ricciardo's done the same and taken himself out. We've picked up front wing damage in the process. It has been carnage late on here in the Canadian Grand Prix, and we've got another safety car. And somehow in all of that, we've been given a 5-second penalty. Perez has got a 5-second penalty as well as Carlos Sainz. Nothing we could have done there.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Well, we're going to have to box anyway for a new front wing right in the dying stages here. So I think this Grand Prix has just completely come away from us with just a few laps to go. Tsunoda's now out of the race as well, so he's had a mechanical failure in the process here. I think that Tsunoda's engine's gone up, so second Mercedes in 2 races has gone up in smoke as well there. But this is carnage late on here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Yeah, we've got a pit. There's no way we can try and hang on out here with no front wing. But it's all just happened. Luckily, we should be able to serve this penalty under the pit lane. So fingers crossed. Yeah, I think that's what Sainz is trying to do as well there. Yeah, you can see the team holding on as well with Carlos Sainz. So Perez has somehow made it out of there with no damage. So if by some miracle we can put ourselves back up into the points here, we've got 4 cars out in just 1 lap. Just 17 runners left in this Grand Prix here. Yeah, if by some miracle in the late stages we can try and move ourselves back up into the points here, we're going to have to make a lot of work there, but we are still somehow ahead of both the Haas cars at this stage of the day.
Complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
I mean, this is just completely shaking up the order late on here at the Canadian Grand Prix there. 4 big hitters out late on into the day, and that has now meant Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton 1 and 2 ready for the restart here, but we've got to try and make up 5 places in 2 laps if we want to score anything and take something away from this Grand Prix there. The great battle we've had with JB all day has been absolutely ruined based on a stricken Red Bull there, but of course Perez will have that penalty, so we might be able to get past Sergio again before the end of the Grand Prix on count back there.
A lap to the car behind, 2 seconds.
Oh, there's already contact with Carlos Sainz. I think we got away with it though. Let's just have a look on the front wing. Yeah, no, we did get away with that one somehow. Oh, just see the back end though, so all over the place as we need to start making moves. Oh, Sainz really trying to force the error from Nicholas Latifi here, and we might try and get a run on the pair of them as we head down in towards the hairpin here. Latifi goes defensive. Sainz tries to have a look, but we go clean down the inside of the pair of them there. Read that one like a book down at the hairpin, and we're now back up into P13 of the Canadian Grand Prix here with just a lap to go. Can we do the impossible? Can we find any more places before the end? We might be able to get a run on Lundgaard. If we can get Lundgaard back down towards turn 1, anything is possible here as Christian does lock up. So we're going to be able to capitalise on that straight away as Sainz tries to do the same to the Williams behind us. But we've got 1 more lap to go and 2 more places left to gain. It might only need to be the 1 depending on where Perez is. He's way up the road, so I don't think we're going to be within 5 seconds. So we need to make everything happen on this final lap here. And look at Guan Yu Zhou on his old set of the medium compound tyres here. He's struggled all year. He's very much been a backmarker so far in this championship. But can we try and get a run on the Chinese driver there as we head down in towards Sector 3? I don't think we are this time round. Or get all over the back of Guan Yu Zhou there. We're going to have to go for a send into the hairpin if we want any chance of doing anything more in this Grand Prix. Up the inside we go. Big lock up at the rears, but we do get it slowed down. And now it's just a case of where is Perez in this Grand Prix? Are we going to be within 5 seconds of Checo as we head in towards the final couple of corners there? He's still sat in P4 at the moment. Somehow didn't get any front wing damage in all the commotion, unless we can get a run on Esteban Ocon there. Lando Norris wins the Canadian Grand Prix, but are we going to be able to do enough to try and take away a point here. Are we going to be able to? No!
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
McLaren have pulled it off. They've won in spectacular fashion here today. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Taking care of the car was absolutely vital today. It's been obvious all weekend that the pace was there, but look at the attrition rate we've had. They would have been very concerned about any minor anomaly towards the latter stages of this Grand Prix.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Lando Norris takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Nikita Mazepin gets my vote today.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. McLaren continue to increase their gap at the top. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.
Well, there we are then, guys. The end of the Canadian Grand Prix there, and drama late on. And this time round, it completely screwed us here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. We worked so hard this weekend, but to be honest, I think 11th place was really about the result we deserved anyway. It should have been 10th or 11th had we not had all that carnage late on in the race there. But Lando Norris takes home McLaren's second race victory in a row there. They are looking like an unstoppable force at this stage of the campaign there. Hamilton P2, Charles Leclerc in third place there. Again, Ferrari looking good at this stage of the year there. JB, his best result since his return to Formula 1 as well, up in fourth place there. Rather lucky to get that fourth place, but it's 12 points for the team. I'm not going to complain one bit about that. Homeboy Lance Stroll as well, up in P5 after all the chaos there. Ahead of Gasly there, Bottas in 7th, and Alpine are the only team to get both cars into the points at the end of the Grand Prix there. We lost out to Checo by 1/10 of a second at the flag there, so that is well and truly heartbreaking for ourselves there, finishing down in F1's worst position of P11 there. Beating out Guan Yu Zhou, Lundgaard, Latifi, Carlos Sainz there, Schumacher and Schwartzman, with Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Russell, Verstappen and Giovinazzi all not making it to the checkered flag when all is said and done there. That was an insane finish to the Grand Prix there. Norris, though, takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship, 16 points clear of his teammate Daniel Ricciardo at this stage of the campaign there, who's 11 ahead of Charles Leclerc there. Hamilton now ahead of Yuki Tsunoda, 4th and 5th there. We still hold on to 6th, 3 points ahead of Max Verstappen there. Sainz still in 8th. Button, though, gets the jump on George Russell up into 9th there. Bottas, despite those good points, gets relegated to 11th there ahead of Lance Stroll. Perez gets moved down. Gasly jumps up past Esteban Ocon as well with that result there. Mazepin as well with more points on the board. Guan Yu Zhou, Lundgaard, Latifi, Schumacher, Giovinazzi and Schwartzman, the only people still yet to score at this stage of the campaign there. And constructors-wise, despite all the bad luck it was looking like, we do further extend our gap to Red Bull. There are 11 points now between the two teams at this stage of the year. Then McLaren 45 out front and Ferrari close to Mercedes. The Mercedes are to McLaren at this stage of the day there as well. Williams and Alpine capitalise as well this weekend, meaning they're still ahead of AlphaTauri as well. Surely Gasly going to be able to try and drag AlphaTauri back into that battle later on in the year as well there. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well, and yeah, we'll be back very, very soon with round 6 of the year. We head to France. You guys do not want to miss it. A massive thank you for the continued support from all our channel members. If you want to be featured in these end clips, make sure you click the join button down below. But yeah, once again, a massive thank you to the Travesty, Patrick, Chuan, David, Ben, Aiden, F. Stathios, Cato, Sean, Johnny, McBlam, and Mighty Spork for becoming channel members. The support is really, really appreciated.